G'day guys, welcome back to another video. I thought I'd do a video today talking about the Stormers game a little bit more in depth. After a couple of days of thinking about it and rewatching it, I thought I'd have a video to talk about the extra good things that I might have missed straight after the game. But I'm not, because we have the Sharks game in 2 days. This is a tour, right? They just come thick and fast. So yeah, 2 days. I mean, it's only like a 4 or 5 day turnaround between the Stormers, the Sharks game. There's lots to talk about. There's a potential full strength All Black team to be named soon. I don't know when that's coming out. I haven't heard. Maybe it's today, or maybe tomorrow. But I thought it was a good time to just throw out a team there that I think would be in the reckoning to be selected. And yeah, let's have a look at the injuries first, though, because there are a few injuries and it has changed sort of, I guess, the dynamic of the tour. All right, so there you can see the injuries we have so far. Starting off with Cody Taylor, he is still out. Dave Rennie had said that he was not in contention for the Sharks game, but he would be after that. So I guess we're looking at the Bulls game as a potential return date for Cody Taylor. But so far he is not available. Obviously, George Bell has already gone back to New Zealand with that calf injury, and Bradley Slater was called in, who I think we might probably see against the Sharks. Other little injury concerns, obviously Fehi Finianganofo and Wallace Atiti both they came down with some sort of illness before the Stormers game, so they were both ruled out. And Wallace Atiti, they both are rumoured to be back as well or at least available for selection for the Sharks game. So you'd like to think both of them get a look. So they are not too concerning. However, out of the Stormers game, the one injury concern was Billy Proctor. I think Rennie mentioned it was a shoulder. They weren't too sure how serious it was, so I guess I haven't seen anything. I don't know if anyone's heard anything yet, but it doesn't look like anything's come out about him yet, so we don't know. We're in the dark there, but he could be an injury concern going forward. And then maybe he gets ruled out for a couple of games, and then they have to call someone up. And who do they call up? Well, I think everyone in New Zealand will say Richie Mo'unga, and potentially they do. Yeah, potentially he gets the call up. But I'm looking at this team and I'm thinking they're a little bit short at lock. We were all surprised, I think, that they didn't choose an extra lock. And I don't know, you've got 4 day turnaround between those two games, and you're going to have to use, someone like a Darry or maybe even a Holland as well, two guys that were both involved in the Sharks Stormers game. So maybe they could use another lock, but we'll see. Maybe Billy Proctor's still going to be okay, in which case no one gets the call up. But let's have a look at the team that I've selected for the Sharks game. All right, there we go. That is the team there. I'm just doing it this way because, man, the team names are coming thick and fast at the moment. So I'm just going to throw it up there for everyone to see. De Groot, Amua, and Newell is the front row. De Groot is obviously first choice loosehead in my opinion, and Amua is going to have to back up because you've got him and Bradley Slater as the freshest hookers in the squad. Bradley Slater, do you throw him out there to start with? Maybe throw him out there, give him 50 minutes, and throw on Amua, or do you start with Amua? Probably, I've gone with Amua because I think he hasn't had that many starts, so it'd be nice to see him out there and just working on a different combination there. He hasn't had a lot of game time with the Groot, so that'd be nice to see him there. Fletcher Newell as well. Lord and Darry in the second row. Obviously, Lord is fresh. He hasn't played yet on the tour, but Darry has. He came off the bench for 20 minutes against the Stormers, so he's going to need to pick himself up to go again. But 20 minutes, you'd think he'd probably be all right. The other option is obviously to provide there at 6. He could cover lock, and then you have Darry on the bench, but then you're sort of short a blindside flanker. And I don't think you really want to mess too much with your loosies. I mean, maybe he does. We'll see. But I've gone with that. It would be nice to see if I, continue. If he's going to be the 6 for the Springboks, that's the big question, right? If he is going to be the 6 for the Springboks, then you'd like to see him play 6 now. if he is going to be moved back into the second row as a lock, then you may as well just play him there, right? Jacobson, Satiti, 7 and 8. Jacobson, some of these guys just need a bit of a run in South Africa. Satiti ruled out with illness against the Stormers, but if he's fit, I think he starts. And this is actually, I think it's worked out in his favour. Like now he gets to be a part of a team that has a little bit, I don't want to say more quality, but they are the first team, right, for a reason. So a little bit more cohesive. I think you're going to come off looking a lot better if you have a good game in this game as opposed to if you did against the Stormers. So probably worked out better for him to not have played that first game, in my opinion. Okay, at 10, I've got Ruben Love. And then, so 10, 12, and 13 is as you'd expect, right? Ruben Love, Geordie, and Tupaia. Now, I just think it's real key to get these guys. This will be your first team, right? Love, Geordie, and Tupaia. You need to get you need these guys to just go through their paces at least once before they hit the ground. They hit, the Springboks. So they need to build not necessarily cohesion, but they just need to, just remember each other and how they play together, and just a little, run through the, the motions together, and just, fuck, what am I trying to say? How it is, right? You don't want to see a rusty performance from the get-go, so you want to see that these guys have some cohesion, and the balls are going to hands, and they're ready to rock from the moment they play against the box. So I think it's important that they get a run. And then on the opposite side of things, I've gone with two totally different wingers. Fehi deserves a chance if he is fit. And then Narawa, I think we saw the Stormers really, really focus on kicking. Well, there were a lot of kicks, right, and it hurt New Zealand. They didn't do a great job of recovering those high balls, but with Narawa, I think you have a better shot. He's good in the air. And then DMAC at 15. Just another one that needs a bit of a run. Moving into the bench, we have Numia, Slater, and Lomax. Nothing to really add there apart from it would be good to see like Slater maybe in the middle of. I mean, you could make an argument that Slater should play in between De Groot and Lomax, and then you've got a pretty experienced two guys next to him. But I've gone with Numia, Slater, and Lomax on the bench there. Right, I've got so Holland and Segner. I've got them sort of bracketed here because I just don't know which way they go. Holland played, plenty of minutes on the weekend, and he's just back from injury. Do you really want to flog him that much? And Segner, I mean, he played as well, but he didn't play. He did play quite a bit, didn't he? But he's a young fella. I mean, they both are young, so I've just got those two bracketed. I mean, maybe we don't see either of them. I just don't know the makeup of that bench without. Yeah, I don't think you have Larkoi either because he played the whole game. So I'm really struggling for that 19 position. I'm just going to go for someone like let's go Segner. I'm sure he can back up after a few days. Smesi, Tupou Tailoa, I've got him in there. I think it's time to see what he can do, and he'll be surrounded by a lot more experience this week. So perfect place to have a crack. You think maybe Tupou moves into the locks around the 60-minute mark, and Smesi can come on for a 20-minute cameo and give us all a look at him, and maybe give South Africa something else to think about if he can be its damaging best. And then the last three, obviously the backs on the bench, I've got Roigard, Tavatavanawa, and Jordan. Roigard, I think you'd maybe throw him on there for 10 minutes at the end. I don't think he needs to play at all, but just throw him out there. And same with Jordan, two guys that just don't need a lot of game time to be at their best. So you'd just be throwing them out there just to have a bit of a run and to feel the atmosphere and be included, feel all good about themselves. And Tavatavanawa, I find this one quite interesting. He actually could. we could see something very different on the bench. And this could be a hot take, but all my hot takes recently have just gone down like lead balloons. But Tavatavanawai has all the skills of a loose forward, and he's a 12. I mean, if there was ever a time to try a 6-2 split with a hybrid player kind of thing, maybe it's now, because he is. I mean, yeah, his skill set is just such a loose forward skill set. You could really just bring him on and have him doing the work of a Lucy, really. I don't know. Maybe they play around with something like that. I'd be interested to see. But yeah, that's my team, guys. That's my team for the Sharks. Alrighty, so a couple of storylines around this game as well. Obviously, the big one is Ma'anonu. He is apparently playing. No, he's on the bench for the Sharks. He signed I think he's a player coach or something like that. So that's interesting. Pretty cool from a New Zealand perspective to see that he's going to get to play against the All Blacks, and he's probably licking his lips after seeing what they did at the Stormers game. But on the flip side, like as a South African guy, if you're a young South African centre and you've just lost your place to Ma'anonu, I get a lot of kids in South Africa's dreams probably to play against the All Blacks. So that would be a tough one. That would not be a good look. I think they've got a few injuries in it, and I believe guys in the Springboks, right? So they are struggling for players. So maybe there's not a huge issue there, but still, if someone's missing out because of Nonu, is pretty tough. The other storylines I've got, Satisi bounce back. We need him to bounce back after the Italian game. Need to get him some good form. I think him and Lakai could be super key for the All Blacks. They just offer something really different that not a lot of teams have. Two really mobile, really abrasive, loose forwards that have out-and-out pace. They could cause a lot of problems. It's just a matter of how Rennie utilises them. And then the last two I've got here is just Fehi, Whinianganofo, and Samisi. Fehi is just after the Super Rugby form. He's been unlucky not to have a proper crack at the All Blacks yet through injury, but hopefully that is behind him and he can get a start or at least a decent cameo off the bench. So yeah, really keen to see him. And then Samisi, obviously, like we all want to see what he can do at test level, right? So yeah, exciting. It's going to be an exciting game, guys. Let's be honest. I think we need to see All Blacks hit back with a strong performance. And the main thing is, though, just to get through this without any injuries, right? Yeah, that's the big one. But that's it, guys. That's a little preview of the Sharks game and the team that I think the All Blacks might name, or a couple of that I'd like to see. I think there's some interesting things around there. I think the All Blacks against the Stormers, they really did try to hide certain things. They refused to kick the ball no matter where they were on the pitch. Especially they were trying to play out of their 22, and it's just that for me that reeks of Rennie just saying just show them this, show them that we're going to try and run from anywhere. I mean, Razzie's smarter than that to believe it, but it for me it just shows that there's a little bit of a mind game there. Rennie's trying to play, so they've obviously got some things up their sleeve. He's alluded to it already, and I'm interested to see what it is. So I can't imagine we get a proper look at it. I do think we get a 6-2 split at some time, and I'm interested. Maybe that Tavatavanawai, how he's deployed, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting, guys. So I'm super keen for this game. But thank you for watching. Please comment and let me know all your thoughts, guys, around this team and who you would pick, who you wouldn't pick. And yeah, guys, please like and subscribe if you enjoy the content I'm putting down. I'm on holiday at the moment, so I'm not in the best places to be filming. I don't have the best equipment with me, but I'm back in a week, and I'm going to lock in for South African tests and put out some good content. That is my goal for the rest of the series and beyond to the end of the year. So if you're not following along, guys, please subscribe and have a good week, guys. Enjoy the game on Tuesday. Let's go All Blacks, and yeah, take it easy.